This is part 6 of the Killer Food Plots series. Today we're going to talk about Groganix. Groganix is a killer food plot, natural-based, waterway-safe fertilizer. We designed this product to build the soil in which you are planning to plant your food plots. For greater than 15 years we use 1919. Some of you often use 1212 or 1717. We found that the delivery of the NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, which make up the 19-19-19, were not sufficient to grow successful killer food plots and sustain not only the short-term growth, but the long-term ability for the plant to replenish itself when the excessive grazing begins from your whitetails. So when trying to grow a food plot, whether it be a killer food plot or any other type of seed species, it's very important to replenish micronutrients, the carbon, the calcium, some of the other key elements that are missing in the soil. Groganix gave us an opportunity to design a natural product to improve efficiency and uptake by the roots of our plants, and as well as establishing a solid root system for each of the plants. But to be able to deliver the nutrients in a more efficient manner allowed us to increase the tonnage over our previous application of a synthetic 1212, 1717, or 1919. Now those particular fertilizers, you may be using them today in certain situations or certain applications, buffering the nitrogen content, for instance. We would use a 4600, and it's a synthetic fertilizer. The shortcomings of synthetic fertilizer is that the compounds are held together with salt. And anytime you're trying to grow something, especially a natural vegetation, adding salt to that is a negative in the application of the growing process. By meeting the needs of the plant and establishing a strong root development, we are trying to do more than just grow this year's food plot and sustain its life through the season that you're hoping that vegetation is going to go to work for you in the field. We are trying to establish a solid base that not only grows a plant, but holds your dollars and cents that you continue to invest in lime and other key elements of the soil that will continue to go to work for you in the years ahead. Groganix Fusion brings together those other missing elements. 19-19-19 is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Groganix is an 8-4-4 with an additional 4% calcium. Now people say, that seems so much lower. How can it perform so much better than a 1919? First of all, it's not held together with salt. We're not trying to overcome that negative. 2, 1919, 1717, and 1212, it's very difficult, and there's a lot of waste that occurs where the plant is not able to access those nutrients and not able to utilize them, and a lot of it goes to waste or drops out the bottom of your soil depending on what type of soil you have. The Groganix, being a natural-based nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, are more easily taken up by the roots. And what does that transform into? Somewhere between 30 and 50% more tonnage per acre when you're dealing with an extreme condition like very gravel, high salt, or clay type soils. The delivery of the additional micronutrients, macronutrients, that helps to build a stable, strong root system along with the calcium, which transforms into the actual green vegetation growing out of the ground. So what does that mean exactly, the green vegetation, and enhancing or improving that? Well, if you think about a well-steamed piece of broccoli, what does that do when you put that in your mouth? Whether you like broccoli or not, you stick that in your mouth, it's still fibrous, but it breaks down very easily in your mouth and kind of almost melts. As compared to a piece of asparagus, which is very stringy, an undercooked piece of asparagus, it's very woody, you can almost peel it like a banana peel. It does not break down, and it ends up being roughage in one end and out the other. Well, the same thing happens in whitetail in the vegetation that they're consuming. They are going to eat the most delicate, soft, and available ends of the plant, the leaf or the fruit of the plant, and maybe a little bit of the branching or the stems, but they leave a lot of the plant alone and it just goes to waste. Or they consume it and it's just fibrous going in one end, filling their stomach momentarily, but going out the backside. All of your money and your time is not going to work like it could. Groganix, what that does with the combination of the mineral content and that calcium piece, is it takes the fruit, the stems, and the branches and turns them into a more available, digestible food source that delivers key proteins, key vitamins, and minerals. The mineral uptake by your plant is increased by the Groganix in its delivery of the mineral to the ground, and the sustainability of holding the nutrients throughout the entire season will enhance the overall capacity of your food plot to recover from heavy grazing. So when you think about the difference between synthetic and Groganix, the difference comes shining through in the amount of tonnage of food plot that you're able to produce, as well as its ability to recover, which is a key factor when you're putting your time and your energy into a food plot. You want the best return possible. Groganix Fusion should be in your food plot management plan. So historically, with a synthetic fertilizer, one of the questions we have, well, how easy is Groganix to actually spread or to use? It is a one-for-one application, and it's also the same application method. You can use a hand seeder, a push seeder, a large fertilizer spreader, or one over the shoulder. Broadcast it, work it into the soil just like you would your other fertilizer, or you can broadcast it over the top of an existing food plot or an existing planting bed that you're putting in a spring or a fall food plot. It has the benefit of not actually burning the forage, so it's a great management or continuation of feeding an existing perennial food plot, for instance a clover chicory plot or an alfalfa plot. It will not burn the leaves on your brassica, so if you want to give an extra booster shot to your spring or your fall food plot as the grazing continues and the rains start to come and you want to apply that, you're not worried about burning that vegetation. So there are some definite advantages to using Groganix over your historical triple 12, 17, or triple 19.